What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color and to the 61st episode of the Physical Media Rundown here on the channel, the weekly live show we shoot every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we go over every 4K and Blu-ray release that's coming out for the week. And we also have just a fun conversation about physical media and collecting with the wonderful audience. We shoot this with a live audience right here on YouTube, and I always have a good time talking to you guys. We got a big topic of conversation to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Steelbooks. We don't talk about Steelbooks a lot on this channel, but we're kind of being forced to talk about it because this is another wave of 4K upgrades coming out this week that only have Steelbook options. There's no standard edition, which I usually prefer. I know a lot of people do, but we got to talk about it because not only is it just an aesthetic thing these days, but Steelbooks are getting really expensive. And if you're only going to get one version and it's going to be a $40, sometimes $50 Steelbook, that's a bummer. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Please throw some comments and questions in the chat. I'll try to get to as many as I can about the conversation or about the topic of discussion this evening. And as always, if you have some very important thoughts or questions that you want to make sure I get to this evening, go ahead and throw a super chat in and it'll give me a big colored box so I can make sure I talk about it. But other than that, I'm going to try to get to as many of the comments as I can in the live chat, all while talking about the new releases this week. So we got a lot of balls in the air this week. It's a smaller week though, not a lot coming out, just a handful of things that we'll get into. So it should be fun, should be a good evening. We'll probably go the full hour and a half tonight, hopefully. And I can't wait to get into it. So let's go ahead and see who is here in the chat. If I could speak as fast as my mouth is moving. Dan's Den here in the chat. First person, Collector Movie Man, popping in the chat, saying he's already picked up some of the releases this week. So that's pretty cool. Illuminated Pro, I don't recognize that name. And I don't know if they're in the right place because I don't know what this means. What do you do when someone gives you very mixed signals? Well, that is a I don't know how to respond to that. Maybe I think I need a little bit more information about whatever that is. I usually tell them right away and try to clear things up. Communication is key. Kevin House, hello all. Looking forward to another great chat. Robert Rogers is here. Internet User is here. Mr. Jones is here. Checking in from work. I got a lot of the other places to order discs from posts that DJ did. Oh, interesting. I got a lot out of the other places to order discs from post that DJ did earlier. Hope everyone else did too. Hey, thanks so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. That's a video. I think he's talking about the Orbit versus Diabolic video that I did. Posted that yesterday on Sunday. I got a lot of great feedback on that. That's a video I've been planning to do for months, and I finally got it out. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That was a really fun one to make. I'd like to do more of that stuff in the future. More collector-based videos instead of just talking about stuff I bought. That was a fun one. Let's see. Doug is here. Jason's here. Wow, we got a lot of people here. Let me try to catch up. Numerical Code, Taco, Why So Bluetooth, Jason X, and Jeffrey E. Patron is here. And then the chat just jumped up. So I'm gonna have to jump back to you guys in a second. I got to get to some new releases here because there is a lot of stuff going on. But let me message Grace real quick, who is upstairs, and ask her if she can turn down the air because it is hot. Turn down the heat, please. Can you turn down? Sorry, that was total inside baseball, but it's really hot in here under these lights, and I can't run to the thermostat right now because I got to talk about new releases. Let's jump over to the new screen. Panic Room 4K. So we're getting right into it. This is what I'm talking about. Steelbooks. This is one of the big ones coming out this week. We've got Panic Room getting a 4K upgrade for the first time. Blu-ray digital included as well, all three formats. 2002 thriller film, crime film, psychological thriller film. This is an interesting, it's funny that, we'll talk about the other one here in a minute, but both of these 4K upgrades have a lot in common, from the artwork to the director, pretty much across the board. But yes, Panic Room, getting a 4K. A lot of people excited about it. Here's what I'm talking about. Look at this price tag. $45 on Amazon right now. Full price. It's not marked down at all. And this is the only way you can get it. So I guess let's just jump right into it, guys. What do you have to say in the chat? This is it. This is where we are now. I, for one, have been not a big fan of Steelbooks for a long time. But they were usually kind of on par. They were on the same price. They were around the same price as the regular 4K. There was never this big discrepancy. So it wasn't that big of a deal if I had to. I think last couple of years, we've had a couple examples of this. I know Taxi Driver was this way. Taxi Driver was included in the big... Actually, I'll jump into this other one too. We'll talk about these two together. The other one coming out is The Social Network, which is right here. There's the overview. That's some cool... It's okay. It's an okay Steelbook. It's not great. But this is the other one. Social Network getting a 4K upgrade as well. Another David Fincher movie, and another one with like text over someone's face on the cover. This one I actually haven't seen Panic Room, but I've seen this one. This was one of my... I really, really liked this movie in 2010. 2010 was the year I graduated high school. Social Network. I still have mine, actually. This is it right here. This is... For a lot of reasons, I have good memories of this. It was one of the first like awards movies I ever saw. Like I didn't grow up watching awards movies. This was nominated for an award. I actually had seen it. I was like, wow, this is a great movie. Kind of blew me away, as it would for any like high schooler at the time, seeing his first David Fincher movie, his first Aaron Sorkin movie. So I really, really like this movie. I remember the score being very like a kind of a pivotal point for my life, because before that, scores were just like, I listened to a lot of movie scores, but it was just like superhero movie scores, like catchy, triumphant kind of scores. This is just very like incidental, very different kind of score from Trent Reznor. And I was really taken in by it. I liked everything about this movie. I really, really liked it. It was a big deal for me because, like I said, I was like a nerdy kid who just watched a lot of like genre stuff, sci-fi stuff, superhero stuff, and then to see this like just straightforward drama that was shot so interestingly and creatively that I had such a great time with it. I remember this and Inception both came out in 2010, and it was like changed the game for young high school DJ. And this release changed the game for me. This was like my first digipack release. I was so interested in this like special packaging, because before that it was all just standard stuff, and it was really cool. I like this release, and I would like something similar for the 4K or just a standard. The Steelbook is just kind of, if it's going to be a Steelbook, like if we have to get a Steelbook, like recently we've had to get a couple other Steelbooks. I mentioned Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver and Social Network have releases inside the one of those big Columbia box sets. Like they came out there first, but they have no standard release outside of that. They just have this Steelbook. And if it's going to be just a plain black Steelbook with text on it, like, I've made exceptions recently with some Steelbooks. I've mentioned them on the channel before. Like, I really like this Steelbook, The Last Unicorn one. Like, that's different. That's special. I've made exceptions for like the Lionsgate Steelbooks too, because they have like this slipcover and everything, and they have all this this is a Highlander one. That's like a crazy Steelbook. Ran is probably my favorite Steelbook I own. Like, this one is different. Like, I'll buy a Steelbook if it's actually something special, worth spending like $30 on or something. But if it's just going to be black Social Network poster, then just give me a standard. I don't need a Steelbook for that. Same thing with this Mondo Steelbook I got. I already talked about this one earlier this year, but this Doctor Strange one is really nice. So that's cool. Like, I'm okay with that kind of stuff. But if you're just going to only give us one option, and there's people, other collectors, not like me, who don't want any bells and whistles at all. They just want a standard edition. They just want the movie. They don't care how it looks on the shelf. And this sucks for them too, because they have to shell out $45 for Panic Room or $45 for Social Network, and they just want to pay like $25-$30. So let me know what you guys think. I want to talk to you guys about this. I've been rambling for a minute here. Let me scroll back up and see what you guys are saying. A lot of people saying they love Panic Room, which is good. Very good. Obviously, the movie, if it's a movie you like enough, maybe you shell out the money for it, but it does suck. Here we go. Jason more bees. It sucks for a collector who doesn't like Steelbooks. I have to decide to bite the bullet and buy the Steelbook, or hope a regular release comes out. Same. Exactly the same. Like, and we've had to do this more and more lately. I remember, like, Stardust came out recently. 4K, only had Steelbooks, didn't have a standard. A movie that came out, I think, last couple of years, that my wife really liked and grew up with, that I got for her for Christmas, was this Matilda. Another 4K that only had a Steelbook. No other option on that one. So some of us collectors who don't like Steelbooks are being forced to buy Steelbooks. And it's not, I'm with you, Jason. It's not fun. It's not very cool. Let's see. Jason managed to pre-order Panic Room and The Social Network. Good. At least you got. That's the other thing. Is like some of these, there's only one option. They're selling out. Some of these are selling out. There's so many things to talk about. This could have been its own video all by itself, probably. Mr. Jones, I tend to prefer Steelbooks if there's something else going on with it, original art, new supplements, etc. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. Like, sometimes they feel worth it. I don't know that this social network one feels worth it. It feels just kind of standard. It could have just been a regular standard release. Carrie Witt popping in. Oh, Bradello. Hello from Alberta, Canada. New subscriber here. Hey, welcome to the stream. Happy that you found us. Hope you enjoy the stream. And thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Why so Bluetooth? As far as the Steelbooks go, I tend to go for the regular 4K disc, unless it's for something I really love. Went for Nosferatu Steelbook via Barnes & Noble and got an additional 10% off. Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah, we'll talk about Nosferatu in just a second here. Ooh, quick random question here from Sammy. I'll answer this real quick. I'll try to. What other YouTubers do you watch? Are you talking about just like, I'm just going to mention like physical media YouTubers. I think that's what you mean. I like Elliot. Elliot Cohen is one of my favorite channels. He's great. I'm just going to mention people. I don't know if there's like this weird thing. I feel like there's other channels that like don't mention other. It's like you're not supposed to mention other channels. I don't care. I always mention channels I like to listen to. I love Elliot's stuff. I love Ken's stuff. Ken is from Mid-Level Media. I've been watching a ton of his stuff lately. He's got to be the hardest working physical media YouTuber I've ever seen. He posts stuff like every single day. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he keeps up, but he's great. Jeff, the grandfather, Jeff and Serial at Midnight. With those two guys are like the big ones. Those three guys, I guess, are like kind of the biggest ones. So I watch, Jeff from Films at Home, Jeff Rossio, and Heath from Serial at Midnight. Love his stuff too. They're all great. I'd love to talk to them someday. I should probably. That's kind of something I want to do more this year. Is try to reach out to other physical media YouTubers because it's something I haven't done, and I love to make some connections and talk to other people. Speaking of, one physical media collector that I have talked to is Jake over at Steelbook Obsessed. Speaking of Steelbooks, he's not going to agree with anything I say here because he loves Steelbooks. He collects them all the time. But he's great. Wonderful guy. Talked to him. Did a podcast with him. But yeah, there's a bunch of them. One guy that I've never talked to, but who is just cranking out awesome work is In Search of Physical Media. Another guy that cranks out like videos and video. Like he's huge now. He blew up. He's like over 100,000. So yeah, you probably already know all these people because they're all bigger than me. But yeah, those are some that I watch, and there's more. But I'm gonna move on. Great question, Sammy. Robert, I don't usually buy Steelbooks. If you drop them, the dents can cause a depressive episode. Yeah, I think that's most people's reason for not collecting them anymore is because they get so damaged. I know other people have done videos like Elliot and 80s Made have both made videos why they don't collect Steelbooks anymore. I've had to lately. I used to not collect Steelbooks, but like I said, we're kind of having to. Dan's Den Panic Room, widely considered one of Fincher's worst, but it's good. Well, that's good. If one of your worst movies is still pretty great. Let's see. Bradello again. Did you see he went back and edited a curtain for this release? Such a perfectionist. LOL. No, I did not see, but that doesn't surprise me at all because David Fincher is definitely a perfectionist. There's some directors that are like that. As long as it's not too egregious, too distracting, that's fine. I don't mind that. I love Jacques Tati, but Jacques Tati went back and edited a Jaws joke into his perfect film. Anyway, no one knows what I'm talking about. But Jacques Tati is a French comedy director, and he did Monsieur Lo's Holiday, which is one of my favorite movies. It's perfect. He went back and edited and added a score like 10 years later, and it was perfect. He should have he shouldn't have touched it again. I'm okay with that one because the score is amazing. But then he went back again and added like just one joke with like Jaws, and I didn't need it, but it's fine. It's the only version that we have in like high definition from Criterion. But I'd love to see just the was it 62 version by itself? I know it's on the disc, but it's very low quality. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's see. Anyone else have any questions or comments about the 4K? Why so Bluetooth? I did get Social Network and Panic Room 4K steals because I bundled them with the regular Kill Bills a few months ago with the 25% off coupon. Interesting. For Movies Unlimited. I don't know what that is. Is that a site? I might have to look into it. That brought my per total cost down. Okay, so you got a big bundle. You got a big deal. That's good. Jason, this is Jason Brewer. Welcome to the stream. The biggest thing about Steelbooks is FOMO. I found if you're a bit patient, sometimes you get a cheaper reprint. That's how I snagged Lawrence of Arabia. That's a big one. That's a good point. Because some of these, and you never know which ones are going to get reprints and which ones aren't. I almost shelled out like $80 for that Lawrence of Arabia Steelbook because it felt like it was the only way I was ever going to get it. I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't because it did get a reprint. But yeah, there's some of those Steelbooks that go out of print. A lot of the Lionsgate ones, like I would love to get some of the early Lionsgate ones, like these, that have like the slipcovers and everything. There's some like Cabin in the Woods 4K I'd like to get. It's like $100 on eBay, or maybe not that high, but it's pretty high on eBay. There's other ones. The Judge Dredd one I think went pretty high. There's what's the anime movie that Matrix was borrowing from? Ghost in the Shell. There's one for that too that I missed. All those I saw on the shelf at Best Buy for like $20 years ago, and I never pulled the trigger, and now they're super expensive on eBay. So yeah, you can wait. It's a gamble though. You can wait and hope they get reprints, but sometimes they don't, and it's a bummer, and you end up having to pay eBay prices. Patrick Williams, Panic Room was $35 when I pre-ordered it last week. It has not shipped yet. Now it's more. That's crazy. Amazon's been the worst lately. That's why I did that video recently about checking out other stores, because Amazon has had all these issues with shipping stuff out to people and pre-orders getting canceled. And now there's stuff that's exclusive to Amazon. We've got that Steelbook, that Snowpiercer Steelbook that was exclusive to Amazon. That was the whole thing. I still haven't picked that one up. I kind of want to. Carrie Witt, The Social Network score is awesome and has led to Reznor doing some amazing work since Social Network. Yeah, he has. He does interesting stuff. I like his scores. Sheldon, I'm with you, man. Wish more stuff was released in digibook format. I said digipack, two different things. But yes, I love digibooks, and that's why I made such a big deal out of the new cinematograph releases from Vinegar Syndrome lately, because they've been doing those digibooks, and I wanted to collect those. I was so excited that Align was doing digibooks again, but then I can't keep up with that line anymore because they're posting so many things. They just keep cranking like 2 out a month. So I've dropped off on those, but they look great, and they're really nice releases. And I still want to pick up the ones that I really want. But yeah, I wish to go out digibook. You know, media books are becoming bigger in like Germany. For some reason, Germany's putting out like a ton of digibooks, especially MGM movies. They have like a deal with them. I just actually saw this weekend, and you guys should look into this because this like is out of print from Vinegar Syndrome, or at least the limited edition was. Hundreds of Beavers is getting a German digibook, like a German media book for Hundreds of Beavers. I need to look into it because I have this stupid Superman curl that won't stay up. Yeah, and I really want to get that because I love Hundreds of Beavers. It's an awesome movie, and it's a cool release. Why so BlueTube? Although when Disney gets stupid and prices steel for $65. Yeah, that's another one. I didn't even mention that. I have this over here too. The Disney Plus shows. Only available on Steelbook. No other way you can get them. So I went and grabbed WandaVision. I got it secondhand for a lot cheaper. I didn't pay $65. But yeah, Disney's doing it too. And Sony is the kind of the big culprit here with these 4K Steelbooks that are only available in the giant Columbia sets. And then they come out and there's only a Steelbook version. Taxi Driver did the same thing. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to keep up with for collectors these days. That's why I want to talk about it, because I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. We'll talk about it just a little bit longer, but we got to get back to new releases. Some people tune into the show just for new releases, and we've been talking about this whole discussion topic this whole time. Let me see. I want to jump in. Wow, that is the best comment the best compliment I could ever get. Thank you so much, Numerical Code. He says, in my opinion, DJ is the right mix of mid-level Ken and Elliot Cohen. That's amazing, because those are like my two favorite guys. I love both of those guys. Elliot Cohen talks about the boutiques, and mid-level talks about like Vincent and all the Umbrella and all that stuff. So I love it. I love keeping up with those guys. They're great. So thank you. Baloney checking in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Baloney. Welcome to the stream. Glad you made it. Movie Addict Matt. I prefer Steelbooks, but have to admit they really should be called aluminum books. Hey, we got a Steelbook fan. Good. I want to hear both sides of it, because I don't want to just talk down on Steelbooks. Like, I know a lot of people do love them. I just want there to be options for people. Skylar says the only Steelbook I own is King Kong. That's a beautiful Steelbook. I don't love that movie, but it's a really nice Steelbook of the 80s King Kong movie. It looks awesome. Tati is amazing. He is amazing. I love it. I think Monsieur is my favorite still, but I need to rewatch Mononc and Playtime because I've only seen those once, and I'm sure they'll go way up on a second viewing. Brett says, I think Playtime is my favorite Tati. Yeah, I need to see it again. I've only seen it once. I'm sure it'll go up. Skylar, I don't know if there are many other Canadians here, but never mind Steelbooks, the cost of DVDs are insane here. On average, for classic film on DVD or Blu-ray, it's costing me $30 to $40. Yeah, I know. And we're complaining here in America when Canadians have it much worse. And even overseas, they have it much worse. They have to pay a lot more for stuff like this. So first world problems, I know, but that's what people are talking about. I want to hear their thoughts. But my heart does go out to Canadians because it sucks. Let's see. Oh, wow. Jeffrey just watched his first Tati today. What'd you watch, man? That's awesome. Let me know which one it was. Kyler got his... Okay, Constantine 4K. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Why So BlueTube? Germany has media books. They are nice. Yes, just mentioned that a little bit. Am I that far behind? Jeez. This chat is going way too fast for me. I'll do a couple more here, and then we'll hop into some new releases. Feel free to bring this up any time during the stream, though. I want to keep this conversation going. Sammy, what TV do you watch your 4K movies on? I watch downstairs. I have a little theater room downstairs. We have a projector, a 4K projector from Epson, the UB5050, I think is what it's called. I can never remember all the acronyms for these stupid technology bits, but yeah, I think it's UB5050 Epson 4K projector. It's great. I have a good time watching stuff down there. And Why So BlueTube? Did you ever watch the animated Illusionist movie about Tati? It was directed by Sylvain. I did not watch that. I watched through all of Tati's movies, and I wanted to tack that on the end of it because I know it's like based on him, and it's actually based on something like he wrote, I believe, and I really wanted to watch that, but I haven't yet. I should finally do that. There's actually several animated movies from G Kids back there that aren't Studio Ghibli movies that I'd like to get to. There's one about a cat, which is appropriate now because we've got Flow coming to, I think it's already on, I mean, it's coming to the Criterion Collection, but it's already on Max, and you can watch it on there, which I don't have. I don't have any streaming services, but I would like to watch that because it's supposed to be one of the best animated movies of the year. Oh, okay. Couple more Steelbook things just again. Skylar, my King Kong Steelbook is the OG one from the 1930s. I bought it many, many years ago. Wow. I didn't know there was a Steelbook for the 30s version. I love the Steelbook. I have a Digibook back there for the 30s version that I love. But I didn't know there was a Steelbook for that. I'll have to look that up. Thanks for sharing that. That's really cool. Carrie Witt says, Steelbooks obviously have an audience. They seem as popular as ever these days. The idea of 4K transfers gives companies a reason to wrap them steel for a few more greenbacks. Yeah. And I think, they're mostly selling out. So I don't think our complaints are gonna be heard because they're doing fine. They're selling out. It's just kind of annoying. Yeah, we can air our grievances on here. That's fine. Patrick Williams, Den of Thieves combination 4K Steelbook collection is only available on Lionsgate Limited website. That's another whole aspect of this we haven't even talked about. Lionsgate wants our money bad. He said that's $60. Yeah, Lionsgate is. And next week we're going to talk about the 4K of The Third Man, which is another $60 Steelbook, which is kind of annoying. And the only other way you can get it is from the UK with the big giant like $100 box set. So that's another one they're kind of gatekeeping. So hopefully Criterion will get the rights back to that soon and get it for $30 or $20 in the sale. Jeffrey says, currently the only two Steelbooks I own are Sukiyaki Western Django and Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai on Blu-ray and 4K respectively. Interesting. Are those Arrow video releases? I haven't heard of those. Those sound cool though. Carrie Witt, I do like Lionsgate Limited Steelbooks. It's expensive but thoughtfully designed. Yeah, and has anyone seen the new Mark Wahlberg movie that's coming out that they did a hilarious Steelbook for where his hat comes off and you can see his bald cap underneath? Pretty great. No, I love Lionsgate Steelbooks. Like I said, I have a couple right here. I have several of them actually back there. I didn't pull off the shelf, but yeah. $60 is a little extreme, too extreme for this guy. I'm gonna have to stick to my boutiques, but I do want to talk about that off the gate because that was the first thing I noticed, and I also wanted to throw in some discussion topics in this stream. We do this every week, so we got to keep it fresh. So I'm gonna try to keep coming up with discussion topics because I enjoy doing that. We'll keep talking about that throughout the stream, but let's pop back to some new releases. We've got Nosferatu coming out this week. This is what I'm talking about. Nosferatu has a couple different options for collectors. Universal Studios is doing it right. We've got a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack with a slipcover. Actually, I don't know if there is a slipcover. I haven't seen one. Both screenshots here on Blu-ray.com are just the standard case. So I don't know if there's a slipcover or not. It does include 2 versions of the film. There's an extended cut. It's a Robert Eggers film that just came out. Did not get nominated for Best Picture, but I know a lot of people really, really enjoyed this one. It is, of course, based on the original Nosferatu, which is based on the original Dracula, so it's very similar to that. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see this one. This is what I'm going to have to wait for disc to see. I didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters. It's already out on disc, which is surprising, but I guess that's just how it happens these days. And then we've also got a Steelbook option as well. You guys have to let me know what you think about the Steelbook. I wasn't crazy about it. It's kind of basic. Just 3 images, one in the front, one in the middle, one in the back, but it's all right. Again, see, I don't want to buy a Steelbook if it's just going to be just a black plain image. It doesn't seem worth it. But yeah, there you go. Same exact content. You get the 4K Blu-ray and digital. No exclusive content for the Steelbook. And there you go. That's what the Steelbook looks like. So that's what I like to see. I like to see options for different kinds of collectors. I don't see the downside of that, really. Like, sell both. But yeah, that's Universal for you. And then also this is a whole different one. This is why, like, the whole thumbnail was full of Steelbooks this time, because we've got so much stuff coming out. This isn't even Universal. So we've talked about Sony and Universal. Now we've got Warner Brothers doing another Steelbook. Here's the overview of that. A little bit more interesting. Look, has kind of a boutique feel to it, some custom artwork. I'm not crazy about the art style, but it does look pretty cool. And is this Constantine? This is like a comic book film that I've never seen, actually. This is a 2005. This was like in the heyday of comic book films, like when they were first getting off the ground, right after Spider-Man, Hulk, Daredevil. And then we got this, 2005. And it stars Keanu Reeves. I've never seen this one. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. I've heard mixed things about it. But let me know if I should go back and check this one out. Again, $35 for the Steelbook for this one. I don't know if it's still available or not. It says pre-order pending. I don't know what that means. Can't click on it and go to Amazon. But yes, that is getting a 4K Steelbook. And then, just like Universal, Warner Brothers is giving us options. We've also got the standard slipcover edition. This one does have a slipcover for sure. There's the image of it. A more generic cover, more standard looking cover. Doesn't look as cool as the Steelbook, but at least you have the option if you are just a standard collector. And that one's cheaper, $30, and marked down on Amazon right now for $26. So that's great. That's what I love to see. I love that, budget collectors that just want the movie can have an option. And there it is. And it's not even a bad option. It's a nice slipcover release, which I would prefer to the Steelbook. So there you go. We've got all those movies coming out this week. Big week for brand new 4K upgrades. And I'm gonna do one more here. One more, and then we'll jump off and talk to you guys in the chat for a little bit longer. This is Uncle Buck getting a 4K upgrade with also a Blu-ray, both. And then this is Kino Lorber. What am I trying to say here? Kino Lorber 4K edition. They've been doing a lot of 4Ks lately. It's got their signature slipcover for, while supplies last until it goes out of print. This is a movie that I saw way too young. My grandmother showed me this movie. I remember watching this with my grandmother. I remember watching this and Groundhog Day with my grandmother. Way too young. She showed me movies that I probably should not have seen. But yes, here we go. Uncle Buck, John Candy. It's a John Hughes film. I don't think it's directed. Is it directed? It might be. I think it is. Yeah, directed by John Hughes. Also starring Macaulay Culkin. And there you go. Uncle Buck. I remember not understanding any of it because I was very young. And I remember seeing things that my little mind was not ready for, but I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great going back to it. I haven't seen it since, so I really need to revisit that. That is available on Amazon right now. Links will be in the description and in the pinned comment after I finish this video, so feel free to use those links if you want to support the channel. That one's marked down a lot right now. The list price is $45. You can get it on Amazon for $29, which is crazy. Great. I like to see Kino Lorber still cranking out those 4Ks. They're all over the place. There's no limit to what they'll put out. They put out any kind of movie you can wish for. So I don't envy you if you try to collect all of Kino Lorber's stuff. I'm going to scroll back up and see what people are saying in the comments or in the live chat. Feel free to put stuff in the comments after the fact too, though. That helps the video. Ray Flood, I got the Apocalypse Now Lionsgate Steelbook. Freaking sweet artwork. Good. I'm glad that, yeah, it feels good when you buy one that feels worth it. Like you feel like it was money well spent. Patrick Craig, can't wait for the Third Man Steelbook to come out. Also, generally don't go for Steelbooks. Okay, so they won you over on that one. You really like the artwork, or you really like just having that film on 4K. I'm still on the fence. I can't tell if I want to go for the Steelbook or if I just want to hold out and try to eventually get the UK version, on eBay. I might hold out because I have the Blu-ray from Criterion. I just saw the Third Man 4K restoration in theaters, so I don't feel like I need to buy it right away. So I'm still on the fence of which one I want to eventually get. But I would like to have the 4K at some point, just to kind of commemorate that great experience I had watching that with Jeffrey and John in the theater at the Plaza, because it was a great, great movie. And it's maybe my favorite noir. It's one of my favorite noirs. I really like, especially on a second viewing, it really jumped up. Patrick Craig, I'm bummed I missed Nosferatu in theaters. Yeah, well, me too. I'm kind of. I'm not a. I wish I had seen it in theaters, but I'm not like super upset about it. I'll watch it at home, and I'm sure it'll be great. Kerry Witt says Nosferatu rules. I bit the bullet on the 4K Steelbook before it sold out. Too bad the extended cut is only 4 extra minutes. Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, that was weird. What was that about? Was that just like a ratings thing? Like you had to cut something? Because that seems weird. I remember that's not the worst I've ever seen, because I think the Elektra director's cut was like 3 extra minutes. It was ridiculous. Remember Elektra? No one does. Except for, I guess, people who watch Deadpool. Sheldon Emberley really enjoyed seeing Nosferatu in the theater. Dan Stan, Constantine is a terrible adaptation, but God, do I enjoy it. Oh, well, good. That's great when it can be something else. Patrick Craig, I watched a different vampire this weekend. Humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person. Wow. I was not prepared for how long that title was. I loved it. Heartfelt and fun. I have not heard of it. I'll have to look that up. And he also says Constantine is a great movie, though I guess not a faithful adaptation. I didn't read the comics, so I don't care. Yeah, that's basically how I usually am. Tony O, Constantine Steelbook flames are debossed. Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's some stuff you can't usually tell from the image. That's pretty cool, though, that they went the extra mile. So that's Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers keeping up with Lionsgate, almost. Trying to, anyway. Matt Mead, I went nuts on the Amazon 4K sale. Got Le Dulo, Zodiac, Back to the Future trilogy, Super 8, Close Encounters, Face Off, To Live and Die in LA, Bad Lieutenant, Groundhog Day, JFK box set, and Alien. Wow. You did go crazy, sir. You must have had a good month. I hope you enjoy all those 4Ks. I just watched the Groundhog Day 4K last week. John brought it over when we did our winter, the exact day that we shot that top 10 winter movies video. We went downstairs and watched Jurassic. That would be a good crossover. No, Groundhog Day. We watched the 4K and it skipped. So make sure you check yours, because his skipped and we had to take it out and clean it. I've had that a lot lately with 4Ks. I don't know why. I've got the nice 820 player. It's not a bad player. Oh, let me see what people are saying. Constantine is delightful in its early 2000s cheese. Not great, but some good popcorn movie fun. That's kind of what I hear. That seems to be the consensus. My grandmother also showed me Uncle Buck. It's a grandmother movie. I don't know. They like that John Candy. Internet user, you weren't ready for the buck. I was not. But I did just watch Groundhog Day the other day, which I saw with my grandmother as a little kid. So maybe I should watch Uncle Buck too. Maybe I should pick that up. Slipmaker popping in. What's up, homie? Hey, how's it going, Slip? Good to see you. Do you actually make slips, or is that just your name? Because I would love to buy some slip covers from you if you make custom slips. Let's see. Carrie Witt loves John Candy. Summer Rental is the sleeper title of this week. A wonderful Carl Reiner film that's peak 80s candy, underrated even. Well, good. Let's get back to some new releases. Since you're trying to get me back on track, I can take the hint. Let's get back. We've got, speaking of, just mentioned, Summer Rental from Kino Lorber. Not a 4K, just a Blu-ray, but we do have a slipcover, and it's another John Candy movie. Look at this. Speaking of Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, this looks just like it. Life is a Beach. That's an inside joke. 86 minutes, nice breezy comedy starring John Candy from 1985. Seems like a fun one. According to Carrie Witt, is the underrated hit of the week. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I can't keep up with Kino Lorber's output, but that one seems fun. We've got Drugstore Cowboy 4K coming from Kino Lorber. We talked about this a couple months ago when they announced it. A movie I know nothing about. I am not up on my Gus Van Sant, but apparently a lot of people like this one. It is a crime drama from 1989, getting a 4K Blu-ray combo pack. Like everything else is from Criterion these days, mostly putting out 4Ks. It's got a crazy artwork. I mean, this artwork alone is intriguing. It's like this Wizard of Oz homage-looking craziness with drugs. There's a Fantastic Four comic up there. Speaking of comics, look at that. Why is there a Fantastic Four comic? That intrigues me. I like it. I like the artwork. And I like Matt Dillon. I've been watching a few movies with Matt Dillon in it recently. He just keeps coming up for some reason. And I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I don't know when I'll get to it. I don't know if it'll be a July pickup or maybe a little bit later. Maybe I'll check it out on the channel first before I bite the bullet and purchase it. But it does seem like something my wife would like. She's a big crime thriller fan. So that is coming out this week in 4K combo pack and also just standard Blu-ray if you want to pick that up from Criterion at Barnes & Noble or in the upcoming, I don't know why I did quotes because it's definitely coming. They do it every year, but they at the end of February, early March, Criterion usually does a site-wide 50% off sale. So hold on for that. I would maybe wait. Unless you just want to support them. That's great. Give them the extra 10, 15 bucks. Then we've also got another new movie getting a 4K this week, another 4K Steelbook. I've heard nothing about this. Nothing at all. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. It's Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. The only animated thing to come out of Warner Brothers in like years because they have killed all their animations everywhere across the site. They're even removing stuff off of Max. This is a different thing because I think they just commissioned it from like an anime studio or whatever. But here it is. A Lord of the Rings anime. I never thought this would happen. I have no idea what it is about. My friend is interested because he's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I don't know if he got around to seeing it though. I don't know if he ever saw it. I don't know if I have any interest, but it is a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack, and it also has this Steelbook version, which looks pretty nice. It's at least got some custom artwork on it. I don't think there's anything else included. No extra bonus features or anything. Doesn't look like. And then there's also a standard version of that. Here's the 4K standard. Well, that's the back of the 4K standard. Come on, Blu-ray.com. I don't want to see that. I want to see the front. There it is. No steelbook. No slipcover. It looks like so many terms. I got to keep straight here. There's the artwork on that. That's a very involved artwork. But yeah, that's the standard version. Options. Again, that's what we like to see. Options. Both versions available. Let me know if you guys saw that movie in the theaters. I totally missed that one. Anything else I want to mention here before we jump back? Let's go ahead and mention two more things, actually, just to get through another row here. Humanoids from the Deep, getting a 4K release from Shout Factory. 4K Blu-ray combo pack. There's the cover of that one. Humanoids from the Deep. What a title. What a title. A horror film. Shout Factory's wheelhouse. A 1980s bug. What was this, a monster movie? What is this? Something horrendous is happening in the sleepy fishing village of Noyo, and aquaculture experiment has gone very wrong, and the results, fish-like humanoids are rising from the sea to spawn their vengeance. Spawn their vengeance on some unsuspecting teenagers, no doubt. $32.99. You can get that from Shout Factory on Amazon. Link in the description if you want to pick up Shout Factory. Shout Factory peppering in a couple unique releases this week. They also have another one coming here. It's called The First Slam Dunk from 2022, another anime film. And there's the cover on that one. A basketball film. Not exactly what I would think of when I'm thinking of an anime film. Maybe it's super over-the-top basketball. I don't know, but that's all I know about it. It is a basketball film. I could read the synopsis. It's short enough. I'll reach it. A delinquent with a long history of getting dumped by girls after enrolling in Shohoku High School. He becomes interested in a girl named Haruko. I don't know why they were telling me all the names, but it's an interesting synopsis here. Who loves the game of basketball. There you go. He gets dumped a lot. He meets a girl who loves basketball, so he goes and plays basketball. Tale as old as time. And there it is. I don't know if the artwork is as detailed as that cover, but that's like extremely detailed cover art. But there you go. Shout Factory. Very unique, eclectic releases coming out this week. Let's jump back and see what people are saying. No Borders. UK Third Man going for big dollars on eBay. I Want It. Sigh. Perfect film. It is. It's great. And it is going for like $150 on eBay, which is a bummer. And I don't want to pay that much. So the Lionsgate Steelbook is looking a little bit better day by day. Baloney. The other night I watched Showing Up. It was low key, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Michelle Williams is awesome. She is. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time, so I might have to check out that Showing Up. Ooh, this is a new name. I recommend. I just don't recognize. Ouroboros Productions. The Nosferatu director's cut is only 4 extra because the director thought the shots cut just hurt the pacing. Oh, interesting. So why did he... Wait. He thought the shots cut just hurt the pacing. So he thought cutting the shots hurt the pacing? So he put them back in? Interesting. Talk about perfectionist. That's detail right there. Justin, I picked up the Constantine Steelbook today at Walmart. It is debossed. I really liked it. A lot of people talking about that deboss. People loving it. I haven't held it in my hands yet. I don't know if I'm going to pick that one up or not. We'll see. I'm hearing a lot of great things in the chat about it. People really talking it up. Slipmaker, a lot of people have standard answers for sad movie scenes that made them cry, but what are your favorite movies with happy endings that make you well up? I mean, I talk about it all the time. My favorite movie of all time is It's a Wonderful Life. And every year we watch it on Christmas Eve. And every year I cry even harder. I don't know what it is about that movie. I don't know what weird sorcery is in that movie, but Frank Capra did something. Made a deal with somebody when he made that movie, because I cannot stop bawling every time. It gets worse every year. And it starts earlier in the film every year. It's crazy. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites. Patrick Williams, speaking of Warner Brothers Studios, can at Mid-Level Media put that studio above Arrow, Criterion, and others when ranking who puts out great physical media? Well, I can't agree with them about Criterion because I love Criterion, but interesting. No, Warner Brothers does great stuff. Great stuff. Internet user, I saw Drugstore Cowboy shortly after it was announced via Criterion. Really liked it. Well, good. That's what I love about Criterion. Well, one of the many things I love about Criterion is they're not... I feel like most studios, as soon as they announce something on disc, they would rip it off their streaming services. But for some reason, Criterion keeps it on the streaming services and gives you a chance to watch it and then maybe not pick up the physical. And they're not super worried about picking up the physicals. They're fine if you just watch it on streaming, which is really cool of them. I really respect that. I've done that before. There's some movies I've watched on streaming before picking up. Dan's Den Summer Rental, which we talked about a while ago, is basically Mr. Hobbs takes a vacation, but with a race plot. And which kind of a race? And Richard Craner has a rat race. Richard Craner has a villainous jerk. Interesting. I actually really want to watch Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation. That's a Jimmy Stewart film, is it not? Am I right about that? We found out about that recently, and me and Grace want to check that one out. So that's cool. That's nice that it's a pseudo remake of that. No Borders Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader has pretty detailed reviews of studio releases, and few get a 100%. Another one that I do watch. Subscribe to him. He's awesome. He puts so much work into his videos. I don't know how he's super detail oriented. Gets into all the nitty gritty with the restorations and stuff. Love it. Love his stuff. Let's see. I love Ed K just says it's about elves. Well, yeah, that's all you need to know. It's about elves. It's a Lord of the Rings movie about elves. I'm assuming he's talking about Lord of the Rings movies. I'm assuming he's not talking about Summer Rental or something. Jason picked up Humanoids from the Deep. I have a Region B release Blu-ray that needs an upgrade. This movie is ridiculously fun. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad. That seems like Shot Factory's wheelhouse. Slipmaker, terrifying. Who else studied aquaculture in college? I was more of a marine biology kind of guy. I was neither. I was a graphic design kind of guy, but I imagine that would enhance the terror of the movie a little bit. Dan's Den says, I saw Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, and I describe it as a going out in one ear and out the other. Not the most memorable film. That's not what you want to see. Lord of the Rings, man, it's getting a bad rap. It's getting a bad rap. People not liking the show. I enjoyed the first season well enough, but then I never even watched the second season. The Hobbit movies were terrible. They need to just quit while they're ahead. Quit when they made the first trilogy. That's all we needed. Although I like the first Hobbit movie. It's kind of fun. All right. I'm enjoying talking to you guys too much, but I need to get back to my job here. Let's see what else is coming out this week. We got The Order coming out from Vertical Entertainment. You guys know Vertical Entertainment. A Jude Law police film. Look at this. Oh, is that also Nicholas Hoult? Nicholas Hoult. Letting the hair down for this one. Ty Sheridan, and this is a great cast, but I've not even heard of it. Based on the chilling true story, a riveting real-life thriller will have audiences on the edge of their seats. Thanks, Next Best Picture. That's the most generic quote you could have ever given. There we go. The Order, a crime thriller from 2024. Didn't even hear about this one. Brand new film. And you can get it right now for $15 on Amazon if you want a little crime thriller just to pop in, go down easy. It's probably pretty short. Actually, it's not. It's 116 minutes. Wow. But it's a true story. If you like true stories, crazy true stories, then go check it out. It's got a good cast. Have not heard of it. Can't recommend it. because I haven't seen it. But that is also coming out this week. Also, Crossing Delancey, the other Criterion release from this week. Another 80s film, 1988. About a Manhattan single guy who meets a Manhattan single meets a guy through her Jewish grandmother's matchmaker. Again, the simplest of synopses, but it's all in how the biscuits are made. That's not an expression. Just made that up. But the execution is where it comes from. And this is supposed to be a really great film. I am devolving into non-intelligible speak. This usually happens toward the end of the stream. We're only 45 minutes in and I'm already losing it. But 1988, Crossing Delancey, coming to Criterion. Again, I don't know if that's on the channel right now or not, but if it is, you can check it out first before you go ahead and commit to it. And again, I got to recommend waiting until the 50% off sale in a couple weeks. Check it out. It's awesome. And it's a good way to support Criterion directly instead of buying these off Amazon. Links will be in the description, but those are mostly for like international viewers. I hope to push most people to the Criterion website directly because I don't want to support Amazon. 1988. There you go. Blu-ray 4K combo pack again. 4K across the board. 4K all day from Criterion. Eureka Entertainment putting out Legend of the Eight Samurai. They have steered so hard into the martial arts movies to varying degrees of excitement from their viewers. I know some people aren't happy about it. Some people very, very much excited about it. They've kind of become like a second 88 Films, Eureka has. So here we go. We've got another 80s martial arts action film. Princess Shiju's family is wiped out by a family of undead seeking revenge. Another zombie revenge thing. The Eight Samurai can save her, but who and where are they? Where are they? We got to summon these Eight Samurai. This is a Fukasaku film, which I've been hearing nothing but great things about from my good friend Jeffrey, who's in the chat all the time. He's been watching a lot of films from this director. This is limited to 2,000 copies. This has got the slipcover like Eureka always does, and then they'll do a standard edition later on. So if you want to grab that limited edition, check it out. Eureka's been putting out great stuff lately. I actually just watched recently their release of, it's over here, The Secret of Nim. Look at this. Talk about that for variety. Fukasaku to Don Bluth. Secret of Nim. This was an interesting release. Let me know if you guys picked this up. I'm going to be talking about it in a collection update. I've already got everything pulled off over here. I'm probably not going to be able to film it tonight, but I want to film a collection update for the whole month of January because I got a lot of cool stuff. Secret of Nim from Eureka in the Masters of Cinema line. Masters of Cinema series. Very cool that they did this. It's not a new restoration, unfortunately. It's just the same Blu-ray that we've already had, I believe. That's what I've heard from everyone I've heard. So that's not a reason to pick it up, but I just wanted to support animation in boutique labels because it doesn't happen very often, especially this is Don Bluth's debut feature, his first film after leaving Disney. There's a really cool essay in here that I read last night after watching it that is all about Don Bluth's departure from Disney, starting his own studio, and building from this film onto his later stuff, working with Spielberg, but not really about the film. There's not an essay. The essay has nothing to do with the film, unfortunately. It's mostly about behind the scenes production stuff, but there are several supplements on here. There's a commentary with an animation scholar, Sam Summers, and there's also a 2024 brand new interview with Don Bluth. So I really want to dig into that. I had a good time watching that with the kids last night. But yeah, Eureka, doing great stuff. I don't know if they have anything else coming out this week. I just wanted to give a shout out to that because that was a recent pickup from Eureka. What else do we have? What else do we have here coming out? September 5th. September 5th coming out from Paramount Pictures. Another 2024 movie that went under the radar. I did not hear about this. And it's another historical drama film. The best thriller of the year is also one of the best movies of the year. That's a weird quote. That's kind of a weird quote. How could it be the best thriller of the year and not one of the best movies of the year? I don't get that quote. I guess it could be a book. September 5th, based on a true story. Again, it's cool. It looks very Fincher-esque, that whole cover right there. But it's during the 1972 Munich Olympics. An American sports broadcaster crew finds itself thrust into covering the hostage crisis involving Israeli athletes. Woo, interesting. 2024. Another thriller film. I'm still catching up on 2024 movies. I've been watching several, but that wasn't on my list. I didn't even hear about that one. We've got Furious coming out from Visual Vengeance, a 1984 fantasy adventure film. Look at this. Look at this. What in the world is this? Gonna have to check that one out after the stream. I have no idea what that is. Martial arts heroes battle aliens from the astral plane for control of the universe. Silly me. I should have known. Furious. Check it out. It's a very generic title. Kino Lorber also releasing Francis. Here's a slipcover on that. Boom. Francis. Her story is shocking, disturbing, compelling, and true. Wow. I think we found our common denominator of the stream. True stories across the board. An 80s movie. This is another 1982 movie. Look at that. Francis. From Kino Lorber. And then what else do we have here? A couple more. I'll jump over and talk to you. Yeah. We'll leave it there. I'll talk to you guys because we're running out of time. We are almost out of time already. This is a big week. This is taking longer than I thought it was going to. Let's see. Dan's Den, The Secret of Nim rocks. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty great start to a career. I think he went on to do better things after that, but it's really good. And it's unique. And I love to read the book to my kids. I've never read the book. I really want a Secret of Nim, but Orbit is sold out. Ooh, I actually got it from, I did get it from Orbit, I think. Yeah, I got mine from Orbit. But it was like a month ago. I got it in January. Beginning of January. That's what I did the Orbit video about recently. Carrie Witt, I want a Secret of Nim. Is that the only version out these days? I think so. I think it's the only one in print. I have an old version that I will be throwing on my eBay page soon because I got this new one. So if you want to buy that from me, feel free. It's the same transfer. It just doesn't have all the cool boutique stuff. Bailey says Crossing Delancey is good. It is my least favorite Joan Micklin Silver film, though. I hope with this Chilly Scenes of Winter last year and our collection on the channel means more to be released. I didn't realize it was the same director as Chilly Scenes of Winter. That was one I wanted to check out when we were doing the winter movie list, but I never got around to it. Thank you for that information. I'll have to hold on to that and watch that soon. Maybe I'll pick it up. I think John has it. John, I might have to borrow Chilly Scenes of Winter from you. Kevin House also recommends The Secret of Nim, which I need to rewatch one of these days. Do it, and maybe watch it with your kids. Although it is dark, I think I maybe showed it to mine a little too early. It was darker than I remembered. I didn't remember anything about it. For some reason, I saw it before, but it was completely excised from my memory. Prism Collection Corner. Hey, Colors. Thank you. I think you're the only one who's given me a nickname. I saw Brave New World this past Friday. Oh, interesting. I have not. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm completely checked out of superhero movies. I don't even know that they're coming out until people tell me. Dan's Den, I got a screener for September 5th and still need to watch it. I didn't know you got screeners, dude. That's awesome. How do you do that? Give me your connections. Let's see. Prisms, can you do your movie musicals collection soon? Ooh, that would be a cool video. It would be a very long video. It wouldn't be as long as my Christmas movie collection or my superhero movie collection, but no, yeah, that'd be fun. I should do that. Maybe, yeah. Thank you. I should write it down. I forgot to bring a pencil today, but I need to write that down because that's a good video idea. Thank you, Prisms. Whoa, get back here, chat. Hold on. Robert's been waiting on Francis for a while, although it is a depressing movie. The performance of Jessica Lange as Frances Farmer is excellent. By the way, what is your favorite depressing movie? Ooh, that's another good. You guys are giving me great video ideas tonight. This is why I do this. You guys are great. This would be so boring to film like by myself and not do live. So I'm so glad I thought to do this because you guys really enhance the whole conversation. It's actually a conversation instead of just me talking on my phone. Favorite depressing movie? Gah. You know what I watched last night? Depressing movie. I really liked it. I don't know if anyone else liked this movie. Lamb. What in the world? This is so my kind of movie. It's directed by Valdemar Johansson, and I cannot wait for this guy to make more movies. This is his first film, debut feature. Speaking of debut feature, I accidentally did like a double debut feature last night with Secret of Nim and Lamb. Didn't mean to. And they're kind of, they have a lot of similarities too. They're both about a farm. Both take place on a farm. Both about parenting and grief and loss. Great double feature. I recommend. It was great last night. This is crazy. This is great. I love this. I feel like it got a bad rap because A24 marketed it as a horror film, and it's not a horror film. It's just a straight up folktale, which I feel like we never get. I feel like we never get folktales unless they're horror films. This was great. If you like big like metaphor movies, check it out. It's great. I highly enjoyed it, and it is very depressing. So what other depressing movies do I like? I always shout out my favorite silent film. Actually, my two favorite silent films are both super depressing. The Phantom Carriage, very depressing film. Basically, like I pitch it as It's a Wonderful Life where you go through the entire life of a man, but instead of making the right decision at every turn, like he does in It's a Wonderful Life, he makes the wrong decision at every turn, and it is very depressing. But I love it. It's great. And my other favorite silent film is The Passion of Joan of Arc. Super depressing film as well. Yeah, there's a lot. That could be a whole video. There's tons of depressing movies. I'll throw out a couple at you, but I would have to think about that. That's a great question. Let's see. Sheldon Emberley saw Francis in the theater when it was first released in the 80s. Strong movie. Sweet. I mean, Kino Lorber always puts out those movies that everyone forgets about. It puts them out, and they've been cranking those out. I don't think there's been a week that we've done the show that Kino Lorber hasn't put stuff out. John Malahai hopping in the chat. Hey, John, how's it going? We'll have to have you over soon. You may borrow Chili Scenes. And also, I just watched Crossing Delancey on the channel, and you should check it out. Thanks for the recommendation, buddy. So it is on the channel, according to John. Matt Mead, what's your P.O. box? I do not have a P.O. box. I cannot afford a P.O. box. I don't think it would be worth it. I have an Amazon wish list. If there's anything new that you want to send me, or you can hit me up on, we can maybe work something out if you want to hit me up on Instagram, Films by Color. I'm not going to give you my address, obviously, but we may be able to work something out if you got something really cool you want to send me. But yeah, the P.O. box just isn't worth it. It's like 20 something, $25 a month or so. I looked into it. It was crazy. It would not be worth it. So yeah, sorry, I don't have a P.O. box. Dan's Den also like Lamb. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Carrie Witt also like Lamb. It's great. And the 4K it takes place in Iceland, and like every scene is like breathtaking scenery. Iceland's awesome. I need to go to Iceland's at some point. It's crazy. All right, let's knock these out. Let's finish this up. We are already at an hour. Last summer, this is not from Criterion. Technically, it's from Criterion, but it's part of the Janus Contemporaries line. This is a 2023 film. They're putting out, obviously, Janus Contemporaries are putting out modern films, new releases from the last couple of years, directed by Catherine Brella. I don't know how to say her name. I'm not familiar with the director, but if you know the vibe of Janus Contemporaries, they put out kind of similar films. Usually films that premiere at Cannes or do really well in the like independent films that do really well at like the indie awards, stuff like that. So there you go. You got Last Summer getting a Blu-ray only release, a very bare bones release. Those Janus Contemporaries, minimal, but it's really cool that they're getting physical releases. Evil Dead Rise getting a 4K Walmart exclusive Steelbook. Way down the list. Not a lot of people excited about this. This is a 2023 Evil Dead movie, but there it is. From the visionary producers of the original classic. I don't know if that went very far, but you got all three formats. 4K Blu-ray digital. It's obviously a re-release, but it is a Walmart exclusive Steelbook. So if you have a Walmart that actually cares about their physical media shelves, unlike I do, you might be able to find that at your local Walmarts. Another one from Kino Lorber, Are You Being Served? The movie from 1977. The staff of Grace Brothers take a trip to Costa Blanca while the department is being remodeled. Look at this craziness. This looks like a Mad Magazine cover. There we go. Directed by Bob Kellett. I have no idea what this is, but it is Are You Being Served? The movie. Is this like a TV show that got a movie? There you go. 1977 coming out this week. We've also got Panda Plan. No idea what this is. This is coming out from Well Go USA. This looks like I love Jackie Chan, but this looks like, didn't he do another one like The Spy Next Door? This looks like another Spy Next Door for like The Pacifier. Everyone has to do this at some point. All the action heroes have to eventually do babysitting movies. And it looks like he's not babysitting a human in this one. He's babysitting a panda. Panda Plan. Don't know anything about it, except he looks like some kind of secret agent. He's got a panda on his back, and he is surprised or exasperated. I don't know what that expression is, but he doesn't look like he's having a great time. But you can have a great time maybe if you buy that movie on Amazon for $15.78, or more likely, you can have a disappointing time if you buy that movie from Amazon for $15.78. But who knows? Who knows? I haven't seen it. I can't disparage it. I haven't seen it. But that's Panda Plan. We've also got 100 Yards coming out again from Well Go USA on Blu-ray. 2023 martial arts action film. There we go. starring Jackie Hyung. 100 Yards is undeniably excellent. Very generic. Quote. That doesn't tell me anything about it. We've also got Weekend in... What is... Am I being pranked at this point? What is that? This is put up by Ketchup? Ketchup is the name of the label. It's putting out Weekend into Pie. This is when I have to stop. Okay, I have to stop. I've gone too far down the list. This is why we don't go to the bottom of the list. We get movies put out by Ketchup. I'm stopping. That's everything. Everything that's been out this week we've talked about. And let's finish up. Let's have a nice 30-minute discussion here, or thereabout. We don't have to go all the way for an hour and a half, but I've been having a good time talking tonight, so I probably will go the full hour and a half. And let's talk more about grievances in the collecting community. We got a lot to be thankful for. We got a lot to be grumpy about. Let's talk about both. Steelbooks can come back up if you want to talk about Steelbooks, or we can talk about Lamb again. A lot of people mentioning that Lamb is good. I agree. Robert Rogers, my favorite depressing movie is They Shoot Horses, don't they? Well, at least they tell you right off the bat what you're getting in for. Carrie Witt, Life is Beautiful is heart-shattering and depressing. I love everyone throwing the hat in the ring. No Borders, Diving Bell, and The Butterfly. Lots of depressing movies. Baloney, when you do your movie musical episodes, can you sing your part through the whole thing? No, I will not. No, I will not be doing that. That would be so annoying. And I can't even keep my voice going through these streams. I'm not going to try to sing every single release. But thank you for your suggestion. I'll take it under advisement. Bailey Walsh. Lilia Forever is one that immediately comes to mind for me and depressing films. Crushing. We're really getting into the adjectives. Look at this. I like it. Robert, let's keep it going. Catherine Brelet, movies usually give me the ick. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. Thank you, Kevin House. Are You Being Served was a popular British sitcom. That's what it seemed like. Usually when you put the movie after it, it's definitely based on a TV show. Carrie, wait. They did a movie of Are You Being Served? That's some wonderful mid-70s Brit comedy at its finest, I bet. They did do a movie, and Kino Lorber is releasing it. Whoa, slow down, chat. Let me scroll back up here. Well, thank you, Henry. Henry's giving me a shout out here. Henry Bidencap, DJ, please give a shout out to BFI's Funeral Parade of Roses under February 17th, 4th row, column 4, pink cover. Wow, thank you so much. And there actually are a couple like international releases that I did want to mention, so thanks for reminding me, Henry. Big one here that I have to mention, I already opened up in another tab. Lion Winter was on my top 10 most anticipated releases of the year. It's a 4K Blu-ray combo pack, but it's from Studio Canal, so you know it's going to be an international release. It's not going to be released here in the States. It's going to have some ugly rating stickers right there. 12-year-olds can watch this movie. This is a great movie. This is one of the best Christmas movies of all time, but don't let that deter you if you don't like Christmas movies, because it's not that Christmassy. It just takes place at Christmas time. It's like a medieval royal family that just hate each other. They hate each other. They are like, it's the quintessential family holiday film, because they're just at each other's throats, vying for the throne. It's 1968. It's Katharine Hepburn in an I don't want to say elderly performance, but she's up in years, and she's wonderful and beautiful and amazing and steals the show. I've already talked about this movie. I want to get this. I don't know if I should pick up this Studio Canal release or if I should hold off for a potential US release. Maybe Lionsgate. Lionsgate's been doing a lot of Studio Canal stuff lately. Maybe they do a line. I don't know. I feel like I should wait, but I don't want to miss it if this is the only opportunity I get to see it in 4K. This is it. This is the problem. This is another grievance with the collecting community. Everything's all dispersed across the whole globe. Everything's coming out from every different studio on the map. And I don't know if I should pick this one up or not, but let me know if you'll be picking it up. And if and when I can borrow it, because I do want to check this out. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies, and it's great. It's coming out. There's also some indicator stuff coming out this week, which we can easily check out by scrolling to the top and ticking it to all countries. And then scrolling all the way back down to February 18th. Keep going. Look at all this stuff. This is why I can't keep it on global, because there's so much stuff coming out. So here we are, February 18th, actually 17th. Today, Indicator's releasing several movies. They're releasing this one here, Queen Bee, starring Joan Crawford. I think they're releasing several Joan Crawford movies today. which is pretty cool. I like to keep up with Indicator, but I can't keep up with everything they put out. Here's another Joan Crawford they're putting out in Harriet Craig. So they're doing like a little theme this week. They're releasing 4 movies, I think. They're releasing this one as well, Peter Ibbotson, starring Gary Cooper, and then the last one is a Shirley Temple film, which is kind of fun. Now and Forever. I've never seen a Shirley Temple film, but there you go. Now and Forever, starring Gary Cooper again and Shirley Temple. Henry Hathaway directed. So Indicator dropping several things this month. I can't remember what. Here it is. So this is what Henry just recommended that I share with you guys. BFI, Funeral Parade of Roses from 1969, The Trials and Tribulations of Eddie and Other Transvestites in Japan. BFI putting out great stuff lately. I think, is BFI in charge of the Chronos 4K that's coming out? I can't remember. There's so many UK labels to keep up with. You got Curzon, you got Eureka, you got BFI, you got Indicator. But I think BFI, I'll have to check that. I'll have to double check that. But no, I haven't seen this film. I'm not familiar with it. It is a Japanese film, and it's from BFI. Look at that. Thank you, Henry, for giving that a shout out. I'll have to look further into that. I have not seen it. But that is also coming out tonight. It's already out. But you got to go across the pond, so maybe check out Orbit or Diabolic for picking that up here in the States, or just go to, I think BFI has a site you can pick up from. I've never bought directly from BFI. I bought directly from Indicator. I've bought directly from Eureka before, but I've never bought from BFI. So thanks, Jeffrey. Not Jeffrey. Thanks, Henry. Kevin House, 1940's The Mortal Storm, starring Jimmy Stewart, is probably my favorite depressing, sad film, but it's so good. There you go. There's a lot to pick from. It's a super broad category. I don't think me and John should do that video because that would be the hardest video in the world to make. Let's see. Matt Manchester by the Sea, depressing. Yeah, well, John just mentioned that in his winter video, and he said it was indeed very depressing. And Matt also mentions Requiem for a Dream. Sheldon, favorite depressing movie here is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Man, you really directed this stream in a whole different direction. This is going to be a bummer at the end of this night. Josh says, depressing movie, It's My Party. A man throws a final party for family and friends before taking his life due to his incurable illness. Great movie, however. Wow, that sounds like a downer. Come and See is about as devastating as films come, and yet it is wonderful. Speaking of depressing, like war-related things, I think this might finally be the year I watch Showa. I think that might be on my short list. That's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Speaking of depressing things, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's very depressing. Carrie Witt, I do loathe those UK rating violators on the cover art. Most of us do. I think that's one thing that, maybe the only thing that all of us collectors can agree on, is those egregious rating stickers. They're not even stickers most of the time. They're like printed on there. Oh, Lou A. Let's lighten the mood here, shall we? Although this is kind of a depressing movie too. What's your favorite Don Bluth? Mine is All Dogs Go to Heaven. Great question. I came to Don Bluth late in life. I did not grow up with Don Bluth. Actually, weirdly enough, I had a VHS of All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 growing up, and I had never seen the first one. Because that was, in my era, you found VHSs at grocery stores, or like you took them home from movie or video stores, and you didn't really have a choice. You couldn't just buy everything. So I remember I had several, like 2 movies that I never saw the first one. I also had Lady and the Tramp 2, and I had never seen the first one until I grew up. But I have now seen most of, or if not all of, Don Bluth's stuff. I haven't seen Titan AE yet, but Secret of Nim is great. Land Before Time is great. I think, it's tough. I've only seen them all like once, but maybe Anastasia? That's really good. Thumbelina is not good. I think Anastasia was his last good one. But Secret of Nim is great. American Tail is great. And like I said, the other 2 that I just mentioned. So I think all 4 of those are pretty on par. I don't know if I would put one of the on first viewing. I've seen Secret of Nim twice now. I've seen American Tail maybe twice. I think I've seen that only once. And then Land Before Time is great too. That's more for, I think that one's more kid appropriate. I don't know, man. Well, I was trying to lighten the mood, but I can't even answer your dang question because I can't even. They're all pretty on par. I really liked Anastasia. I'd have to give it a second watch though to be definitive about it. And I have seen All Dogs Go to Heaven once as well, but I can't remember it perfectly. I remember it being kind of along the same. It was interesting. It was similar. Oliver. I watched that around the same time I watched Oliver, and they're both kind of similar. Take place, or they were made around the same time period. Obviously, Oliver's a lot lighter, but kind of a similar vibe going on with those two. But yeah, All Dogs is good. I might lean more into one of the Mouse movies, I guess. But I really liked Anastasia. I don't know. It's an impossible question. He did great stuff for a long time. Ethan Edwards, there's a 2015 film called Rams that's also Icelandic. Cohen released it on Blu-ray, and it's quite amusing in a dark way like Banshees. Interesting. Thank you, Ethan. I'll have to check that out. I have not heard of Rams, but I want to watch more Icelandic films because that was my first, I believe, and it was great. Let me see what other people are saying here. No Borders. If you like Lion in Winter, you should see Beckett. Peter O'Toole playing a younger version of Henry from Lion in Winter. Oh, that's cool. I like when you get like films that kind of line up like that, even though they're not in the same series, and you can kind of watch them that way. That's fascinating. Beckett. I'll have to try to remember that. Beckett. Peter O'Toole. Interesting. No Borders. The Road is probably the most depressing film I've seen. Only been able to watch it once. That's a good sign. If you can't even watch it again. Kevin House, you must watch Shoah. It's absolutely amazing and will stay with you. Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's so good. Interesting. A lot of people saying Shoah. Ethan says Shoah is actually inspiring. Sam Smith also. Hey Sam. Shoah is very inspiring actually when you consider the importance of the project historically. Learning is good. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. No, I'm interested to check it out. It's a big hit. Obviously, it's more expensive box set from Criterion, but if I don't, I might pick that up in July if I don't have a crazy month. I don't think I'm gonna pick up too much stuff this July, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I always get that once that Criterion sale hits, I start picking up more than I mean to. Yes, thanks, Dance. I did mean Oliver and Company when I was shorthanding it as Oliver, but that's different movies, so I should be more specific. Why So Blue to Titan A was great. Interesting. I haven't seen Titan AE. I know he was experimenting with different animation in that one, and I'm curious about it. I just haven't had a chance to see it. Patrick Craig, Woman at War is my favorite Icelandic film. Look at you guys, man. You guys are killing it with the Rex. Recommendations from Iceland. Yeah, I mean, I hope this guy makes more movies. I really liked it. I don't know if he's planning on making more movies. This was a super personal movie for him. You could tell, like, it was based on, like, folklore he grew up with, but also like his personal life. So I liked it a lot. There's not a lot on the disc. There's literally nothing on the disc. There is 4 tiny little deleted scenes that are very minimal, don't really add anything. And then there is a VFX reel, because there's some great VFX in this. And then there are 2 of his other short films. But there's nothing about, like, there's no commentary, there's no featurettes, there's nothing about him speaking about the film. He just likes to let his art stand on its own, I guess. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Dwayne, The Rock Hudson, I saw Nickel Boys and just couldn't get into it. The dialogue felt unnatural. I think it has to do with how they record the POV characters' audio. I'll stick with Peep Show for first-person media. I've heard mixed things about that one. I think John really liked it. My friend John. He saw Nickel Boys, and that's one I want to see. I've been catching up recently on the Best Picture nominees for 2024. We just recently watched Conclave, and then we also watched Emilia Perez. And yeah, we've been catching up. We've been trying to watch as many as we can. I know Flow is coming to Max, so we need to watch that one as well. We're trying to catch up. I haven't watched Nickel Boys yet. No, that's not streaming yet. It's still in theaters, and I just can't make it to theaters these days, unfortunately. But there's a couple big ones I still got to see before the Oscars. Sam also couldn't get into it, says agrees with Dwayne. Ethan says the Shoah Blue also comes with other films, and the one about the Sobibor Revolt is incredible as well. Yeah, I know it's a bigger set. It's got a lot. I mean, I'm not saying it's overpriced. It's got like a ton of stuff in there that you get. It is just a lot to drop at once, especially when you're trying to buy other Criterions during the month. Dan's Den, The Nickel Boys is like my second favorite film of the year. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. I think it's a love it or hate it movie, or either you get in with it, you get on board, or you can't get on board. But I'm excited to check it out. I like interesting weird stuff. This is like sticking in the shot over here and bugging me. Robert Rogers. We've got 15 minutes left on the program. Although it is slowing down, so maybe I can just wrap it up here if you guys are done. Robert, the Noi the Albino, excuse me, is great. Is a great Icelandic film. This is awesome. I wasn't even aware that there was so much Icelandic cinema that I wasn't even caught up on, but apparently I need to catch up. There's a lot of great stuff. I need to start adding these to my Letterboxd watch list, which is thousands of movies long, and I'll never get to all of it. Patrick Craig, Cohen Media Group released The Last of the Unjust by Claude Lanzmann, worth watching after Showa. Cohen Media Group, another label that I only have a couple releases from. Very small boutique label, but they put out stuff that nobody else is putting out. Really like their release of Blancanieves. Kevin House, I finally saw Anora last Friday, and Amelia Perez and Nickel Boys are going to be at my theater this weekend. Oh, sweet. I didn't know Amelia Perez was still playing places. We caught it on Netflix, I think. I think it's on Netflix. If I get out to see them, I'll have watched 9 of the 10 Best Picture nominees. Great. You're doing better than me. I still have to see like 5, maybe? I still have to see quite a few. But good job, man. Good on you. You're doing great. Sam Smith, I got to design the Showa poster and Criterion art as well. Was a humbling honor. That's amazing, dude. I'm so jealous. I gotta get you on the channel at some point and talk to you about your experience with that stuff, because you've done a lot of cool stuff. I didn't realize you did Showa. That's really cool. SLC 2466, Memoir of a Snail is a wonderful movie. That's another one I got to check out. Stop motion animated movie from last year. That's getting a box set. I mentioned that was one of my anticipated movies for this year, and I mentioned I was going to pick up the double feature. And a lot of people in the comments were like, "No, wait for the box set. It's coming out later this year." So I do want to pick that up because it's really cool. I think it's coming from is it Imprint or Umbrella or somewhere in Australia? There's a box set of that director's work, like all of it, coming out, which I'll definitely have to check out. Internet user, I've made my first purchase on the Criterion website. Punch Drunk Love should be arriving this week. It was a Valentine's gift to myself. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, Criterion's website is great. I usually only pick up stuff I bought stuff from there before. Actually, the first Criterion I ever bought, well, that's not true. I found a couple Criterions at half price books, the first 2 I ever bought, which were Lord of the Flies and Pan's Labyrinth. Then my first new Criterion purchase that I bought was from the Criterion website. It was the Carol Zeman box set, which is great. Highly recommend. Why So Bluetooth? Bianca Neves is great. Good call. It is great. It's a really good movie. Like it quite a bit. And Ethan Edwards says Last of the Unjust is great. They also released Showa Sisters, another film of his. Carrie Witt, after this, I'm going to watch my copy of Summer Rental, which arrived last Saturday from Kino. Wow, you got that early. It comes out tomorrow and you got it last Saturday. Good job, Kino Lover. You must have pre-ordered it, I'm assuming. Their shipping is always, I guess I could finish the question. Their shipping is always very quick if you pre-order direct, just an FYI. There you go. I'll have to remember that if I want to pick up any Kino Lorbers that I just have to have and watch early. Patrick Craig, I recently watched Shakespeare Walla and Heat and Dust, 2 Merchant Ivory films from Cohen Media Group. Both great, especially Shakespeare. Interesting. So, yeah, so his films are spread out across Kino too. I've got a couple Criterion of his films, but I have not heard of those ones. So that's really cool. Cohen Media Group, definitely a sleeper boutique label. They put out really cool stuff. I know they have they have really good releases of the Buster Keaton films. If you don't want to track down the Kino Lorber ones, 'cause some of those are out of print. Well, actually, I don't think Cohen Media finished though. They were doing 2-packs for several Buster Keaton movies, but I don't know how far they got. I think they got to 4 or 5 and maybe stopped. I don't know. Maybe they're still going to finish. Dan's Den. I got the Carol Zeman box set last Christmas and showed A Journey to the Beginning of Time with my mom and her friends. They had a great time. It's a lovely movie. It's wonderful. I highly recommend getting more Carol Zeman stuff if you haven't seen it. Those 3 are the only movies that we have here in America, but he's got a bunch of other, not a bunch, but he's got some other stuff. If you can track it down or watch it online somewhere, they're awesome. It's totally unique, creative guy. Carrie Witt, have you got anything from the MVD Rewind label? No, I don't. I don't have anything from MVD Rewind label. There's one thing that I want to get, and it's a very strange thing, but there's a movie for my kids I want to grab from MVD called The Point. Anyone seen The Point? Look at this. Here, MVD Shop right here. I just Googled it. MVD Shop. The Point. This is narrated by Ringo Starr, of all people, and it is a musical animated Odyssey adventure about this little dude who doesn't fit in because he doesn't have a point. Everyone else in the whole world has a point, and he has no point. It's a very obvious metaphor, but it's great for kids, and my kids loved it. It was on Criterion Channel at one point, and we watched it together, and I'd love to get the Blu-ray, but I've just been putting it off for some reason, and I haven't picked it up, but MBD Rewind Collection put it out. There's a Blu-ray with a nice slipcover. Look at it, $25. It's not even expensive. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet, but I should because it's great. And it's, well, I don't know. It's weird, interesting. It's kind of like a Yellow Submarine kind of vibe, if you like that animation style, borrowing from like that whole period. We were kind of going back and forth. Yellow Submarine was inspiring like Hungarian animators with Son of the White Mare and Janos Vites, and then coming back, or Janos Vites? And then coming back over here and making the point. It was kind of bouncing around. We had very weird, like surreal animation during this period, and I love it. And I can't wait to finally grab that and watch it with the kids again, because I'm sure they don't even remember it at this point. But yeah, that's the only MVD Rewind I think I've ever been tempted to pick up. I don't think they do a lot of stuff in my wheelhouses, but I'm down. I'm happy. I'm keeping up with them now, so if they put anything else out I like, I'll check it out. Patrick Craig has the Cohen Media Buster Keaton films. Good releases. They also release a bunch of Middle Eastern films, which is great, a region that most labels ignore. That's great. Glad to hear that. Happy to hear it. Let's see how much time do we have left here. Harry Nilsson was a fantastic songwriter, says Jeffrey Patron. Yes, songs written and sung by Harry Nilsson for The Point. It is kind of it's an interesting musical. Carrie Witt MVD does a close range, does At Close Range, which I've been wanting to get. SLC Sean, Me and My Arrow from The Point is a great song. It is a great song. That's probably the standout song, I think, but there's a bunch of fun ones in there. Let's see. Ethan Edwards, You Should Get Your Wife Only the Animals, another Cohen release. It's a crime movie. It was marketed as the French Fargo. Ooh, I like the French Fargo. I like Fargo. Fargo's, I mean, I talk about it all the time. I don't need to talk about it again, but interesting. The French Fargo, Only the Animals. Now I gotta search this. You guys are giving me too much stuff. I'm trying to cut down on how many things I pick up, guys. Oh, wow, it does look exactly like Fargo. Look at this, guys. Only the Animals. A French Fargo, right there on the front, 4 stars. Superbly performed. Smart, slippery, and dark. What year was this? 2019. Wow. Thank you, Ethan. Always got some crazy recommendations. I don't know how you guys find the time to watch as many movies as you do, but thank you for the recs. Always appreciate it. Sam Smith is singing Me and My Arrow in the chat. Thank you. Good backup singer. Carrie Witt, what was that Life Force 4K I saw at the top of the UK release list? I don't know. I don't know what that Life Force 4K was that you saw at the top of the UK release list. I guess I'll have to go. You got me curious. Life Force. Here we go. This is it. Life Force. A limited edition 4K Ultra HD from Arrow Video UK. Let's check it out. Let's look at it together. This is it. In the blink of an eye, the terror begins. From the director of Poltergeist comes Life Force, an MGM film from Arrow Video UK. This is another thing that bums me out sometimes, is that Arrow UK will get a lot of films that we don't get here, and vice versa. Obviously, we get stuff they don't get either. So it balances out, but there you go. There's a slip for Life Force. I'm assuming this art style has nothing to do with the movie itself. Seems like it's just very different. This actually looks kind of like, I wonder if this is the same artist who did the Chronicles of Riddick cover, because it looks very similar. But yeah, it's getting a 4K. An Arrow UK, look at that. One movie, 2 cuts. 1985 horror thriller film. A race of space vampires arrive in London and infects the populace, beginning an apocalyptic descent into chaos. Short and sweet synopsis, and does a pretty good job of selling it. Space vampires. What more could you want? They're also getting Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in the UK, which, look at that. Nice big bulky box set. I think we already have a version of this in the States, but that is a really nice release of it in the UK. Look at that. Good job, Arrow UK. You're killing it. Thank you for... Who shouted that out? Was that Carrie Witt? Is that Carrie Witt? Yes, it was. Thank you. Thanks again. Dwayne "The Rock" Hudson. Life Force is an insane movie that I respect, but wish I liked. And then Carrie says Life Force is vampire adjacent. It is crazy. Dan's Den, Life Force is cool, basically a tribute to quartermass British horror films. And says Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is basically Gremlins 2 before Gremlins 2. So there we go. We've covered everything coming out this week. And we got a little bonus, little extras in there from the UK. We got some Arrow stuff. We got some Indicator stuff and some BFI. And of course, we got the Lion in Winter coming out from Studio Canal. I have become a region-free collector because there's just so much cool stuff coming out from those UK companies. I don't know if you are. Maybe let me know in the comments if you've started collecting other labels, but it's hard not to. Like I get so jealous of these. I mean, I've got stuff on my desk right here. I've got this imprint stuff on my desk right here. I've got Radiance stuff on my desk right here. All this stuff is pulled out because I'm going to be doing a complete January collection update. I've talked about almost all this stuff in other videos here and there, shorts, but I know some people like the longer, just kind of chatting videos where I go over all the stuff I got in the month. So I thought I'd do it. It's a big month, actually. I got more than I intended to, so I'll do that video. I'll probably have to film it tomorrow at this point because my voice is not going to hold up, but stay tuned for that. I have also filmed some videos that are already shot. I just need to edit them. I shot a complete collection tour for 2025, going through the whole collection and showing how it's changed since last year. So that'll be up next. I think that'll be the most recent video that comes out. I've already shot that. And I've shot some other stuff. I'm getting rid of stuff. I had to pull some off the shelf. I shot like an anti-haul video that'll be coming out in a couple days. So lots of videos coming. But we are going out of town this weekend, Thursday to like Sunday. So I don't know if I'm going to be getting much stuff up later in the week, but I'll try to get something up before I leave. And stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for the incredible conversation tonight. Really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. You guys are the best. Really appreciate all your insights and your recommendations. And I can't wait to do it again next week. We got a lot of stuff coming out next week. I think it's going to be a bigger week next week. And I will be back in time for a Monday video. So tune in next week. Same time, same channel. And we'll do this all over again. And I'll talk to you then. Until next time, keep collecting. And I'll be back with another one real soon.